Hi guys, it's me Karen. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to do part, I think it's 4. 1, 2, I don't know, could be 3 or 4. Not sure. It'll be in the title. We're going to do another couple pieces of this picture here. So I'm going to do the gloves. He's got a glove on this hand, and I'm pretty sure this is a glove on this hand too, because it's got the same kind of details down here on the wrist. So I'm going to make it a glove also. I'm going to make it kind of light around here. I haven't quite figured out what this is yet, but if it's like a chunk of gold or a very interesting agate or something, it'll probably have a little glow on it. So I'm going to kind of follow his lightness here with some color. So I'll just be coloring the bottom part of this and leaving this kind of area alone until I figure out what color I'm going to do this. It's probably going to be the same color. It's the stones he's got on him and the beads. Anyway, we're going to do the gloves. We're also going to tackle the cute little mice here. They're both wearing the same outfit, or they all are. There are 2 extra mice that are outside of this picture. You can see one little glove popping in here and a little sword popping up here. But since we're in the close-up picture, we don't have those pieces. So this is kind of like a little tunic underneath a white collar, and then having the collar and the sleeve matching. You can't see it on this little guy up here, so that's kind of a muted point. But we're going to put in a little feather on each of those guys. Make his tunic kind of in a darkish blue. And he's got a little cat on it as the front insignia of his tunic. And but we'll see where we go from there. All the collars are going to be the same color. The collars are attached to their undershirts because you have a kind of a creamy white shirt that has the tie that comes up with the collar. Under the collar would be a tunic, and then he's got a cape on the one side. It probably wraps around his back, but it falls off on to only one shoulder. So the tunic, I know they wear 3 pieces of clothing. The undershirt, a tunic, and the cape. So this here is going to be the tunic that comes down, and this is the open part. You'll see the shirt underneath here to give them a little more room in their arms. You'll see it here too. So he's got another little kind of, it's more like a shirt vest type outfit that goes on top. The tunic is given to you as a, I believe it's more of a mark of who you are working for or under, I guess you would put it. So they would get the tunic if they were working for, say, the king, and the king would give him a tunic to put over their clothes underneath their capes to keep them warm. Anyway, enough about my knowledge of musketeers or swashbucklers. We're going to work on the gloves. We're going to work on him. I'll probably give him some color too, so I can keep him not the color I'm going to do the cat. And we'll see how far we get. So I'm going to do the gloves same as the hat. So I got out my little cheat sheet here so I know what colors I used for the hat. And these are in the Caran Dash brand new set of pencils for the portrait. So I'm going to get those out. It's indigo, or dark indigo, the blue, the Nimes, Inanthrone Blue, Ultrmarine, or Ultra Carmin, which is not an A, so forget it's Ultrmarine, Carmin, Lake, Carmin Lake. It's the reddish tones I put in there. Black and white are from Prisma. There's a cloud gray and a Chrysocolla Blue also. So I'm going to get those colors out. They're just the same ones that I used on the hat But of course, now that they're in my case, they are in a different order. Yeah, I moved them to a case. What I did was I put them in the same case that, nope, didn't use that one, that I put my Lightfast in, so the two of them can stay together. I'm sorry, I am moving the camera. Don't mean to. So, blue, 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 blue. They're all in this page. Okay, hold on and I'll get the pencils out so I don't keep wiggling you. Okay, I got all the colors out, so I'll go over them again with you if I can get them all going the right direction. Now, they're not going to be put down in this order, but we have the Inanthrone Blue, that's 649, Dark Indigo 639, Ultra without the A Marine 140, the Carmin Lake 575, Blue D Nimes 135, the Chrysocolla Blue 371, and the Cloud Gray is the only Lightfast one in here. So there we go. Down to the gloves. We are going to go in with the Inanthrone Blue first. Okay. Gonna put it, I guess I could get you down just a bit lower so you can see a little better. And put it in the darkest area and bleed it out a little bit. Want to leave the little detail coming up the glove alone. And there's like a stitching line or something that's there. And then of course his hand comes around the handle of the sword he's holding. So we'll want to make sure we just go on the hand and the finger. There. Okay. And the same on this side, staying away from the detail. You won't see the stitching because that's on the underside of his hand. And I'm just going to go up this, leaving that lighter area light. Okay. Get a little more of that blue in there. Okay. Now we're going to go in with the dark indigo. Sorry, so you can see that. Darken up those lines just a little bit more. Just tracing over those nice dark lines there. Make sure I know where his fingers are. Fingers, his paws. And just kind of going up dark here and making sure we get those lines where we need them. Gonna go darkly around this little thing here. Very lightly going up. Okay, same on the other side. I'm gonna make sure that's a round edge there. There's a difference between these two, so we want to make sure that this hand here is in the darker realm of the color, so in the shadow. Trace over these gray lines with this one. And then just color it in and bring that color up into the other color. Remember to keep this area light. Okay. Darken it back here too. Okay. Bring in the Ultramarine. I'm just going to call it Ultramarine. Just take the A out yourself. It's going to mix me up if I don't. Just going to put it here and there to add a little brighter blue. Want some of that blue up there. Even want it in the darker area. Okay, now we're going to drop a pencil. We're going to add in the Blue de Nimes. Which is almost a purple. In fact, when I put it in the case, I put it in the purples. So I was having a little problems finding it. But it does have a purple hue to it, so. Bring in the cloud gray, which is the Lightfast. Any dark gray would work. So I've got a little blue to it. Okay, we're going to throw a little bit of the, we've got more colors out here. I didn't put you on that side. The red, which is the Carmin Lake. It's more of a brownish red, and I want to get a little of that in there. Again, we're just randomly putting this in. We want it to match the hat. And that seems good. Okay, now we're going to bring in black. Now I used both Prismacolor black and I believe it was the Lightfast black, but we're just going to grab the Prismacolor one. And I'm just going to go in here and darken the areas. Go over any lines that I want darker. Clean up any other lines that you'd like to have cleaned up. Same on the other glove. You want to make this the darkest area, so you just push harder there and then just lighten it up going upward. Okay, then we're going to take in our little blending stick and we're just going to blend those all together. And again, we want to leave that white open. I don't know what color I'm doing now yet. And I can't make it white again, so we're leaving it the way it should be. We'll take a little bit of the Prisma white, and we're just going to go over this area here to make sure that's the highlighted spot. Of our gloves. And that's good enough. So it semi-matches the hat. I think we might have to put a little more red in them. So we'll just throw some more Carmine in here. Oh, what is it called? Carmin Lake. There we go. Maybe just a tiny bit more of that blue hint here. Oops, sorry. So there we go. Hat, gloves. That only took 20 minutes. Okay, we're going to get the little micey done. So let me see here. Thought I had a little picture of, yeah, that'll work. It's just like the Three Musketeers I put in so I could get kind of an idea of what they're doing here. We're going to use the same colors, the brighter blues here, I think. So we'll grab the Ultramarine color and Maybe we can just get by with those two. Maybe the gray. Okay, try these. The Ultramarine, the Inanthrone Blue, the Cool Gray in case I need shadowing, or the Dark Indigo. I'm not sure which color I will use. But we'll start off with the light blue. And it's not going to be easy to see what colors go here, but keeping his collar white. Tunic comes down. Should go over one sleeve. So there's probably some back here. And it should fall down the back. It's kind of an open thing. Then his shirt should be the same color here as his open shirt here. At least that's how I'm going to do it. We want that cat to show up. And we want his collar to stand out. Okay, we'll take in the dark indigo. We pull up some wrinkles. Okay, gonna bring in some white. Make sure tip is clean, so I'm not bringing in any other colors. This is Prisma. Gonna kind of blend that with this. And we're going to do that there. I'm going to lighten this area here with the white. So when I do his sleeve, oh, I should have done his little gloves. Well, we'll get his gloves done. I was going to do all the gloves at the same time, but I guess I forgot. Here we go. Then we'll go back in with the blender. Just make sure that those get blended nicely. Shadow there. Pull the darkness from the bottom and going upward. And there we go. Now his gloves. I think since they're so small, we can go in with the black. And that would be his hand. arm going up. And if he's holding that, yeah, that would be his thumb coming down to wrap around it. More like that. Okay, then he has another hand down here. This would be the glove. The sleeve is going to go in here, so we're going to accentuate the glove out a little bit more. Kind of have a little leeway there. Not exactly sure what he's doing with this hand. Sitting on your hip, I think. Well, if you're holding that up and you're sitting on your hip, he's either just leaning it on here, he's going to be holding it, but these look like fingers, so we're going to accentuate those and make that a wrist, and this part of the top. Something in that line. Just darken it and kind of give the hint of him making a fist down there. There we go. It's bigger than the other one, but let's take the eraser to that on the side here. And maybe we'll add white in there and make it part of his shirt. This guy's shirt. We'll just bring that up like that and make his hand a little smaller. Do something like that to make it look like it matches the other one. Okay, we'll bring in the cloud gray. We're going to color him in kind of in a gray color. Oh, that's his shirt. I don't want to do that to his shirt. His arm. What should have a sleeve like the other one. Okay, doing really good here. Take the gray out of that. So we're basically just doing his little head. His ears should come around in here area, and then his head down here. So we'll have to give a little white into that. We're going to do that with a Posca. So his ear. Just tiny little hairs here. I'm going to put a little in there because we want to make the inside of his ear pink. Okay. I'm going to go in with the, as soon as that dries, black. here. Okay, pink. We're gonna just get do we have a light pink color in here somewhere? We do. I know we have skin colors. This one looks good. What color are you? Herculanum red. Did you get all that? Yeah, there you go. We're going to add that in his ear. His nose. I mean, just a tiny bit of another color pink. Gosh darn it. Anthraquinone Pink. Just a little bit brighter. Okay, we'll take our gray back, which is the cloud gray, and just kind of put a little in those two areas of his ear. All right. And I'm leaving the cat symbols on everything to do at the same time also, so they'll get done at the same time. I don't know if I want them to match this big kitty or if I want the kitty symbols to be, totally different. So until I figure that out, we'll be leaving that alone. So we have one little furry mouse. And I'm going to do this guy up here. I'm going to turn it so I can get him in camera. We're going to do his little hands first, because he's not wearing gloves. Yay. Not yay that he's not wearing gloves, but yay. I don't have to get out the color. So we're doing the same as I did in the other guy's ears. Light pink here, which isn't really a pink and it's not really a red, but it works. He's got a really funky little nose here, but I assume it's in that area. So we're going to use the other pink here. Okay. Darken up the tips of his toes. Okay. We're going to do him in gray also. As soon as I figure out where the gray is. His ears don't show very much. And I'm going to say he's more of a rodent rat type thing instead of a mouse, because his nose is so long. Sharpen the pencil up just a little bit so I can get some fine little lines here. We'll bring in the black. Little shadow there from the hat. And there, he stands out a little bit more. Okay. All right. What next? I guess I could do the colors. Now the colors are going to be done. A tiny bit of distress ink. I need a little stick here. One of these I thought I had used in the other picture. So this is Scattered Straw. It's kind of a light colored. I don't know if I used this one. It's got a little brown in it, so I have to get some of that out. So that's kind of the color I want, a really soft, and I'm just going to put it in the shadows. Just kind of putting it down one corner, okay? Drawing it in there. Just lightly pulling it down. Barely touching the paper. Okay, there's a light little fluffy piece here. And that's all I'm doing is touching the paper with the light fluffy piece. Do everything else with your pencil. So I'm putting it where the darkest spots are. I'm going to do the same thing in his shirt. Or his collar. I shouldn't call it a shirt yet. I mean, he's wearing it, but that's beside the point. It's the collar of his shirt. Okay. So when I do this, I'm putting the ink down in the dark areas, using it there, and then just lightly pulling it across the paper. Very lightly adding it to the rest of the area. When you're in a darker spot, you can put more down. Always remember that the distress ink will lighten as it dries, but it's always a good idea just to put down as much as you think you want. This collar is going to go up, so it probably hits right about there. Then the shirt or cape, tunic, whatever you want to call it, comes up next. So there we go. Probably a wrinkle there too. So we'll just pull some up. There. Okay. Now you could, if you wanted to, color that in with any color, like a yellow ochre. Might be too bright. A light brown ochre would also work. I just like to have fun when I'm coloring, so I'm going to bring in a little ink. Okay, this is yellow ochre right here in the Luminance set. So if you use that, it's just a little bit brighter. But you could do this all with pencil if you wanted. Here we're going to Like this is a scalloped area. We're going to kind of add some of that in here. And back up here, we're going to draw a line and then add some little lacy effects in there. Okay. Okay, just darkening under here. So depending on how much you want to play on that and how much you want to leave white is what you would do. Okay, and I'll show you, this is the brown ochre. And between those two, you can get a nice we want to get rid of those gray lines, so this is a shadow here for the ribbon. Put that in there. Just kind of blend that out. Okay, same with his little shirt. Okay, I don't want to do too much here. Get the brown ochre 10%. Just very lightly fill all that in. If this still looks a little too gray, you want to go back over it with the other colors. So you want them to show not the gray. Okay, so you just keep working with it until you get it the color you want. I want it whiter than that, so what I'm going to do is bring in the Prisma White and go over it and soften everything up, including that gray. Just like that. And we have to get that out of the ribbon that's coming down. I'll put my eraser somewhere. And we'll use the other one. Okay. There we go. And then we're gonna push pretty hard to get this white up in this area and make that gray kind of disappear there. Can't forget our shadow is in there, but we can add it in with the gray tone here. That's the shadow for the ribbon. Okay, we're going to go back over that with the yellow ochre. Just lightly over where we put the white, and that should brighten that up a little bit. Okay, so I'll keep playing with that to get it the way I want it, because I don't like how that's looking green there. But I'll figure it out. I can always throw a little Posca on there and then color over the Posca or some white paint. Probably my best bet. Anyway, we're going to do his little undershirt here. And I think I'm going, instead of trying to get that white, we're just going to make it a dark blue under here. Just add it in and pretend it's part of the tunic. It'll look, I think, better than me trying to do it the other way. There. And we are going to, on his lace, we're just going to add some little dots. Because it's so small, you're not going to notice that it's lace or not. On this one, we're going to have to do a different bit because we're going to have to trace over all this, but I want to color him in first before I do that. And this little guy up here doesn't have any lace. Okay. Well, I think that's going to be it for today. When we come back, we'll do his undershirt, his cape, probably the feathers. I don't know. We've got one feather on him. We don't really have a feather, but I'm going to put one back here. There seems to be a dark, maybe if I pointed with something here, a dark thing here. So I would think that could be a feather coming off of his hat, because the little guy up here has got a feather up here. He's got a feather, so I'm going to pretend it's a feather. I'm going to give him a hat feather. And it's going to connect to this little piece here because I don't know what that piece is. Now all the ribbons that are here are to tie on the like hat band up here that comes down, maybe to tie on the mask, who knows. But we'll color those in when we do the detail pieces. So yeah, when we come back in the next part, we'll do the cape and his shirt and see how far we've gotten. I'll leave all this. This is going to be the lace that I'm going to try to mimic from this side over here. We'll do that in the next part. Did I even show you what I did? I'm going to leave this piece here. I'm going to mimic that over here on camera. Hopefully. So I will see you in the next video. Oh, wow. Take care, everyone. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye now. Okay, guys, I'm back. I didn't like how this was looking, so I thought I would try to draw a couple lines going this way, because this cloak under here is going to be under it. And it's going to have a string that comes out. And I, just say I didn't like it. So what I did was I just took a dark flesh, 40%. And I just took a line and I drew it across here to cut across there to make it look more like it was coming from here. And then I just erased what I did here. And I'm going to darken this up. This is the flesh. What is it? Dark flesh 40%. It's because it's a darker brown, and go over those colors there. Now, one, you do not have to do this if you liked the other effect. I wasn't liking it too much. So, going in with that. And then I'm going to go back in with the white, Prisma white, and I'm going to highlight the top of those. Okay. And I will take a little bit deeper color. Oh boy. Sepia. And I'm just gonna darken those just a bit more. Have it come in from the side here. So I'm going to pull it and try to make that bunch out a little bit. Like the fabric is folded there. And then I colored in the neck portion up here with the Distress ink and just brought in some lines across there. Very lightly do the shadowing over there. Okay. We will grab the blender tool and just blend that across. Anyway, you've always seen me, then I'm trying to be transparent about it. If I don't like something, I am definitely going to erase it and try to fix it or change it to where I like it better. So I thought I'd just show you how I was going to do that. And I don't know, I like the little wrinkle going that way more than I liked that big line that came down. So all I will be doing is shading that in a little bit more. Could probably bring back in the Distress ink there too and just go over it a little bit. Just darken it up. And there we go. So when you're looking at that from a distance instead of up that close, that's the effect you get. And I like that a little better. If you want, you can bring in a little bit of the Posca and highlight those areas. You won't notice that line so much when that is colored in. I don't think this Posca's got much stuff left in it, sorry. So, when that's got color in, you won't notice that big old line quite as much. You can also add the Posca in there to blur it out a little bit. You just want to make sure when you're doing that, you blend that out so it doesn't show up quite as much. But anyway, that's how I'm going to do it. That's why I changed it up and wanted you to see it. Okay, that's it, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye now.